Yo, how's everybody doing? Welcome back. Josh here, back on Military Family Investing, giving you another one. What is financial independence? All right. Do you think you know? Let's get into it. Okay, this is on my website, of course. I wrote this, obviously. All right. So before we jump in, look at that beautiful book. Grab it. Man, that's a good looking book. All right. I like the American theme. All right. So in the beginning of the article, I talk about uh, the other three articles in the series. Those are some of my first articles. I wish I could show you guys my Pinterest, but I'm recording the tab and not the screen. My Pinterest is awesome in terms of seeing everything that I've been through, everything I've written. I have everything on there. So those were my first. Financial Independence was like my first 10 articles within my first 10 articles of. So they've been a while ago. Now, financial independence. All right. Most people focus on net worth for financial independence. Like, I need $1 million to be financially independent. Well, surprise, $1 million won't set you free. Now, if your $1 million produced 40, 50, $60,000 a year, then it may set you free. But just having $1 million won't set you free. Okay. A net worth doesn't. Having a house that has $1 million of equity doesn't set you free, right? That's the same thing having $1 million in a stock account, right? And ETFs and index funds. What is it going to do for you, right? How can you leverage that and to turn into income? Because we live off of income, all right? So financial independence, if you're following the FIRE movement, they focus on a net worth. Like, I need $5.5 million. I would rather say I need $100,000 a year in passive income. All right, but we'll get more into that later. Now, when I wrote this about 5 months ago, I had $222,000 in investments and our net worth, right? When we started, the net worth went from 10,000 to that over 200 grand. Okay. That's just from diligent budgeting and investing. Okay. Nothing crazy. Okay. So when I wrote it, passive income was 133. And then in that current article, it was almost $1,100, right? Obviously, it's more now, but it's exponential growth. All right. Things move fast, but you have to stay on the journey. Okay. So, like I said here, your passive income journey, all right, you have to commit to it. That's why I'm over here grinding uh, and talking to you guys, because the more I focus on helping others, the more disciplined I stay. Okay. On all my needs. Okay. So, what is financial independence? It's when you have enough money to live without working. What that means is you have enough money to pay all your expenses from passive income. Now, I refer to Rich Dad Poor Dad, the second book I read on my journey, okay? Because you need to understand the difference between assets and liabilities. Assets bring liabilities, assets bring income, okay? Liabilities take away income. Now, what is a car? A car could be an asset because it brings you to your job, but a car is most likely a liability unless you could turn it into some kind of rent-a-car service. But even if you got a free car, you're still spending money out of pocket to maintain that car. So with a car, you want to always reduce the cost of using the car, right? Um, Boats, cars, things like that. A lot of people get confused because when you get a loan, the bank says, "What are your assets?" And they count all those things as assets. Why does the bank do that? Because if you get behind on your payments, they can take those things and make you sell them and produce income for themselves. Okay. That's why the bank counts those as assets. So we all get confused. I was confused for a long time too. All right. I thought my um, video game collection was an asset. It's not. All right. Until I sell it. It's something that I can add to my net worth potentially, but it's not producing income. All right. It's not an asset. Now, so knowing the difference between assets and liabilities. What are assets? These are things you can purchase or create or build that put money in your pocket. Like me writing this book, me doing this video, right? Those are assets. So that this video eventually will make me 10 cents, a dollar, $2, whatever it is over time. All right. But you get enough of those and dividends and maybe a small business, and all of those things are going into your account. All right. Now, the goal, right, for financial independence is to get enough dividends, enough royalties, enough business income, enough real estate to live off of those things and not your job. Then you are free. Then you can choose exactly what you want to do in your life. Okay. That is the time to choose when you want, not when you're broke. All right. So be careful, be wary of, hey, quit your job if it's not making you happy. It's not supposed to make you happy. What's supposed to make you happy is having enough money to not have a job. Then you become happy. All right. Now, the simple way to become financial independent is here: living below your means. All right. I wrote an article. It has its own book, free download. Grab it. All right. Live below your means. What does that mean? That means renting a room. If you're a single person and you can afford an apartment, maybe you rent a room. You save $500 a month, all right, in expenses. You put that $500 a month away. If you're a family, if you're a couple, you rent a room out of your house, okay, or two. You're living below your means. You're not taking all 2,000 square feet of your house. Now you're down to, say, 1,000 square feet. So you're living below your means. You can afford more, but you're using that difference, that extra cash flow, to invest in the future. Okay. That's one of the easiest way, if not the easiest way, to get ahead. Then you can do things like, working a second job, starting a YouTube, starting a blog. These are all things, right? Most people want to say, oh, I work my 8 hours, I'm good. Okay. Well, that's going to happen. What's going to happen is you're going to keep working those 8 hours till you're 70 or 80. In today's world, if you don't have $3 million in the bank when you retire each, you're not going to have probably a good retirement. All right. So if you want to retire on 200,000, because probably by that time, I'm 41. So by the time, I turn 65, it's going to be $200,000 a year to live comfortably in America, right? To travel, to do all those things. That's a lot of money in the bank. So living below your means is the easiest way to become financially independent. All right. Focus on income. Now, what are some of the traps? There we go. I list them all out. Most people only have income, two incomes, one job, two jobs, right? But you have student loan debt, weddings, mortgages, car payments, children. Dude, that's just a start. Vacations, weddings, gifts, blah, 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 blah. All right. It is very, very, very tough to get ahead in America. Very tough. And I make a lot of money. Right. I'm not saying that to brag, but I put in my work. I put in my 23 years. I'm still going in the military. My wife's been working for, I think, 13, 14 years in America, right? She's not from America. So she built her way up, right? And, when I see people driving nice cars and I'm driving a Ford Focus and I make a lot of money and I invest a lot of money and I have a lot of money, I chuckle. Is it worth your future? Is that new car $800 a month or $500 payments for 7 years? Is it worth working till you're 65? For some people, it is. I want to be financially independent. Right now, me and my wife are financially independent, but it's like iffy. Like if we decided both to retire right now, it'd be iffy. I have to do some work, get some more real estate, pop off on YouTube, pop off on Amazon books. So that's why I'm staying around a little longer on my career to build up those resources. Okay. So you have to choose a different path, right? Choose a different path. Like I talked about, house hacking, creating content, if you know anything, if you've been at work for 10 years, you should be able to consult on something. Real estate. Okay. And real estate doesn't necessarily have to mean you have to have tenants. I live in Florida. Well, I live in San Diego, but my house is in Florida with my wife. And a lot of people are buying land or have land, and they're putting up little billboards, little small billboards, about 4 feet high, six 6 feet high, whatever. They're small, but they're getting advertisers to come in and probably paying them $200 a month for that. $200 doesn't sound like a lot until you get it and you didn't work for it. Your billboard worked for it. Your dividends work for it. Your books work for it. And then it's like it's literally like raising kids and having them work and them just giving you all the money, right? That's how it feels. You have another person on your team. Okay, that's why it's very important that you understand these assets. They're on your team. They don't sleep. They go out there. I wake up, my website made me money. I wake up, my books made me money. Okay, my dividends are making me money. Once you have enough dividends, interest, rents, cryptocurrencies, everything, once you hit your magic number, probably add a little bit more, right? If your magic number is 5,000 a month of passive income, make it 6, right? And then you are work optional, financially independent, whatever you want to call it. That doesn't mean you have to quit your job, all right? So I have an article called "Financially Independent, Retire." What is it? Remain employed. All right. You don't have to quit your job. All you have to do is just know the fact that your money is you're being a good steward of your resources. That's the most important thing. Every dollar counts. I'm not saying don't spend it, but have an intention for every dollar. If you want to take your wife to sushi, take her to sushi. No big deal. But understand that, you know, why you're doing it. Not, oh, well, I'm tired, I'm lazy, I'm not going to do anything. So let's just go to sushi, right? Every dollar, right? So, a preferred share, which I always talk about, costs $25 or less. And they yield 7 to 10%. So I think about that every time I have $25, or if I want to buy a $60 video game, I'm like, man, I could buy a couple preferred shares. Is this video game worth it? Sometimes it is, most of the times it's not. Just letting you know. Once you get that money mindset, it's not about there's gonna become a time when I have access money, right? When I'm getting $3, $4, $5,000 a month in dividends, and it's just too much, right? I got my military retirement, my books might be hitting, my YouTube might be hitting, right? And I might just have too much, and I might say, okay, cool, I'm gonna start collecting video games again. Got it. That's the time for it. Not 15 years ago when I was buying video games. Okay. Now, I referenced the book Mindset. It's a good book on fixed income versus growth fixed mindset versus growth mindset. If you don't know the difference, a fixed mindset says that people are born the way they are and they can't change. Right? Most people you meet have fixed mindsets. Right? Most chances are your parents have a fixed mindset because they weren't taught to think that way. Think growth. Growth mindset is okay. Hey, I want to go drive a 18-wheeler truck. Okay, cool. We can do that. Let's go take the classes, everything else. You might not end up doing it, but your mind's not telling you can't do it, right? You're going to try, you're going to get forth effort. It might not be for you, but you're going to learn something from that experience no matter what, right? You might learn what you really want to do. So that's financial independence. This is a good book I wrote, Become CEO of Yourself. It focuses on all my financial mindset articles for that time period. And that was about a year and a half ago. So grab that. It's free. It's a good book. But yeah, that's financial mindset. Having enough passive income to where you're work optional and you don't have to work. All right. So you set your goals, get your mindset correct first, and you set your goals. Look at your expenses now, $3,000 a month, and you set a goal, $5,000 a month passive income. And then you just look at your different categories. Real estate. Okay, hey, I can make $800 a month or $1,000 a month renting a room. Dividends. Okay, I can get to $1,000 a month in dividends in 3 years. Got it. Okay, so I need something else to cover the gap. Can I rent my car out? Can I start a business there? Can I do a vending machine? That's gonna give me 1,000 a month. Can I do arcade machine? Can I rent a garden? Can I do YouTube, blog, whatever? Right? And you just come up with enough ways to get your $5,000 a month. And if you have to work a job, if you have to work, to get your dividends up, you need to work multiple jobs, you do that, right? And you just think of, and it's, to be honest with you, it's really that simple. And then you just get to work. I started the first month of dividends, 25 cents. This month, over $1,000, right? And that's 3 years. So think about what you do in 20 years. It's ridiculous, right? But me and my wife are all in on this thing. You have to be all in. So that's what it's about. I'm trying to give back because I didn't have this information until I was 38 years old. All right. And I was very successful in the military when I got the information, but I wasn't successful financially. Now I'm both, right? And so I want to give back, give the information. I'm learning how to create books, do artwork, become a creative, right? Because we can change growth mindset. So make it happen. With that, I'm out. I'll see you tomorrow.